Welcome to the Gringo Trucker Show. I am your host, the host with the most, Matthew Goose Gossett. My friends call me Goose, so I expect you to as well. We are coming to you live from Hialeah, Florida, in our usual spot, and we got a couple of things to talk about today that are maybe good news in one aspect and then bad news in another. But I kind of get tired of doing all these Debbie Downer articles and the Debbie Downer stuff. I'm gonna have to start one of these days. One of these shows is gonna be nothing but 15 topics about positivity. But for right now, we're gonna talk about Old Dominion and how they've already seen some impact from the yellow freight company shutdown previously this year, and then we're gonna talk about the UPS and their new surcharges for the holidays, and how they've managed to raise the peak delivery surcharge, uh, but it doesn't affect just everybody. I'll explain in just a little bit. Stay tuned. Back. Did you miss me? Tell me that's not the coolest opening on YouTube at the moment. I love it. It just screams Merc. Merc. I love it. I appreciate it. It's nitty, it's gritty, it's gringo. Let's talk about Old Dominion for a moment. You guys know I like to talk about all the different freight carriers and the different things that they're doing and how the economy affects them as a whole. Well, Old Dominion Freight Line this week experienced significant changes in its operating metrics in August compared to July. And these changes are attributed to the shutdown, directly attributed to the shutdown of Yellow Corp, one of its largest competitors. So the key points here: revenue performance. Old Dominion's revenue per day declined only 1.4% year over year in August, which is a notable improvement compared to the 13.3% decline it experienced in July. The company's been very cautious about lowering rates to maintain its yield. Tonnage trends in August: Old Dominion's tonnage decreased by 6% year over year, following an 11.1% decline in July. So as you can see, yes, they're still in declination. However, the decline is much less significant than it has been. Despite a soft domestic economy, the company saw a 6% sequential increase in shipments to $50,000 per day, or 50,000 shipments per day in August. So you could see it's only been a month. We've only gotten the numbers of a full month now, and already uh, the companies that made it, unlike Yellow, the companies that made it are already seeing some improvements. Um, Old Dominion attributed the increase in shipments partly to the direct and indirect effects of Yellow Corp ceasing its operations in July. The company believed that consistent underlying demand remained and that it could be captured by some of the Yellow's former customers. Industrial freight. Most carriers rely on the industrial freight for 2/3 of their total volumes. The Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index remained in contraction territory for the 10th consecutive month in August, which indicates continued economic challenges. Uh, Competitor performance. Other competitors like ArcBest, SAIA, XPO also experienced notable changes. Uh, ArcBest saw a 20% improvement in shipments at its core accounts since June. SAIA reported 14.2% increase, and 6% increase in tonnage in August. Future expectations: tonnage trends are expected to improve significantly for Old Dominion, naturally, since they have now lost their biggest competitor. In the last 4 months of the year, they're expected to improve significantly. Analysts predict that the earnings estimate for SAIA and Old Dominion will likely be revised upwards for the third quarter, which is good news for those guys. Um, Diesel prices. How does that affect? Less than truckload carriers like Old Dominion and Saya often benefit from higher earnings growth when diesel prices rise. Diesel prices have increased roughly by 7% sequentially in the third quarter. Another thing Old Dominion's been doing, they submitted a $1.5 billion bid for 170 of Yellow's terminals. This bid will establish a minimum valuation for Yellow's assets as it undergoes its liquidation and bankruptcy. Old Dominion disclosed that it had approximately 30% excess capacity during a quarterly call in July, which was higher than the usual 5 percentage points. So overall, I mean, we're seeing a big difference already in the improvement of businesses. Pretty soon, we're not going to be talking about declines or negative percentages uh, because Yellow Corporation was a pretty big deal in the freight industry, in the LTL industry, less than truckload industry. Um, and while challenges, still persist in the domestic economy, um, Old Dominion is cautious. Their cautious approach to the rates and its ability to capture additional shipments have contributed to their improved performance. So, kudos to Old Dominion for making different strategy changes and trying to uh, improve areas that they can, ride the wave, if you will, and make the best of what they're doing. Um, I know I'm glad to hear, no longer we're not talking about the pessimism and the negativity of companies. Last week we had a couple of stories where layoffs were starting to happen. So it's good to hear that Old Dominion is bouncing back from this, hopefully turning things around as far as um, their earnings go, and it's all due to their main competitor collapsing. So, congratulations to those guys. Again, they're the forecast for the future for the last quarter of this year looks promising for them, and as well as other trucking carriers. So that's awesome. Very happy to hear that. Right now, we're going to get into I love talking about these guys because I fully believe, you know, I've been a salesman all my life. I've sold everything from door to door vacuum cleaners to lunch meats to TVs at Circuit City. Before they drowned. And one thing I've learned is that if you believe in something, if you really believe in a product, it's easy to sell. And for me to talk about top tracking system, even elite carrier services and elite insurance, but to talk about top tracking system, this is a product that I truly believe in because I've seen it in action. I've seen it work. I've heard the responses from our customers, how easy it is to use, how thorough it is, how it keeps them, legal on the road. Um, we offer things that other ELD solutions don't offer. And we have three that are major. Number one is we have lower costs. We are less than most of your other ELD uh, providers that you have out there right now. Number two, and this is where we far exceed those guys, is we have 24/7 bilingual customer service. They're available for you guys any time of day, 7 days a week. You're stranded on the road at 3 a.m. on a Sunday, they're going to be there for you. And you're not going to wait that long to talk to somebody to get some help. So that's number two, the 24/7 bilingual customer service. And then number three is we have no contracts. And we don't have to have contracts because we're not trying to lock you into a 3-year ordeal or 2-year ordeal where you're not going to be happy in 6 months or so. And then you're going to be miserable, and we don't want that. So we're pretty confident in the way top tracking works, its ease of use and its thoroughness, that you're not going to need a contract, and you're going to stick with us, and you're going to be super happy. So if you want to take advantage of top tracking system, you want to see a demo, you want to talk more about it, call 305-934-3454, or you can go to toptrackingsystem.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram, top tracking system. Um, there's a lot of information on even the Facebook page that will help you. There's even a video showing you exactly how the interface works. It goes through a little tutorial, And we do offer free classes. So when you do sign up for us and we do install the product in your truck, you won't have to worry about how it works. We make sure that you know that before you leave our facility. So again, 305-934-3454. Give us a call. Go to toptrackingsystem.com. We'll be super, super happy to help you guys out. And now the next item up for bid, this guy right here. This is from Zega USA. This particular beast is called a Zegamex, and what it does is it is a anti-siphoning device. It also helps you with fuel spillage. So this thing is made, it's completely 100% anodized. You can hear it as I open it. You hear the steel. It is a beast. What it is it basically, as you can see, it will stop thieves from siphoning your gas, which will obviously affect your bottom line, saves you some money. Also, it makes it virtually impossible for you to spill gas while you're filling up due to, you know, these nice holes here that aerate, that relieve the pressure so that you don't have spillage once you take the nozzle out of the tank. It's an amazing product. If you use the code Cornetazo10, they're going to give you a 10% discount. Top Tracking System is the exclusive distributor of this in South Florida, and it will fit any truck. It has the capability of being retrofitted to any truck that you have, as well as the new trucks that are out there now. Do yourself a favor, Cornetazo10, use that code at checkout, and they're going to give you 10% off. Now, one of my favorite parts of this show is our ability to go out to a local truck stop or two and get some opinions, some advice, some news related to the trucking industry from actual truckers who are on the road at the time. Our correspondent Yoandi goes out to the pilot truck stop, and he will interview some folks that are there, and it really opens your eyes as far as what goes on outside of your little bubble. If I had to sum up all of the interviews so far, a lot of folks hate driving in California due to the regulations and the problems that they face out there. Gavin Newsom thinks he's doing some really wonderful things out there, but in reality, he's basically hurting America in general. Truckers hate driving there. A few truckers have hated coming here to Florida to drive, not to come here, but getting loads out. They are concerned with the pricing as far as that goes. And then the third point of contention is usually a parking issue, which we've discussed in several shows, and you can feel free to go back and surf those. But parking is a big issue, mostly on the Eastern Seaboard, not so much in the Midwest, obviously, because there's plenty of room out there. But so right now we're going to go to, I believe, a gentleman named Lonnie. We're going to talk to Yoandi's going to talk to him as we normally do. We're going to listen, and we're going to give you our thoughts afterwards. So take it away, Yoandi.
Bueno, me encuentro con Lonnie, un camionero de la costa oeste, pero veterano por 30 años. Y esto es lo más importante, una persona que decide, después de poner en riesgo su vida, de defender a su país, ingresar al mundo de los camiones. Pero vamos a preguntarle para conocer cuál es la diferencia, cómo se comporta el mercado en la costa este contra la costa oeste.
I'm from the West Coast, Washington State.
Okay.
And so, like, California fuel is almost $6 a gallon, you know, and here it's not too bad, you know, compared to the West Coast. Well, they start you off at like 46 cents a mile.
46 cents a mile.
Yeah.
That's a big example in Miami. Everybody who is in Miami, 75 cents per mile. It's impossible. Yeah. 46 cents. Look, this is a big weakness.
I see that you are a defender of the Second Amendment.
Yes, I am.
What do you think about this administration with the truck and with the fuel?
Don't like it. Don't like it at all. I mean, well, our forefathers had the right thing. We, you know, freedom of speech and the right to bear arms.
Exactly.
You know, so, and that will not be infringed. So they can't take them away from us. They can try, but it ain't gonna happen. You know, but I spent 30 years in the Army, and then decided to be a truck driver. So,
What is your message from the for a Spanish driver?
well, I'm not Spanish, but I've seen a lot of them, especially around here, and just be safe out there, because I see a lot of truck drivers speeding. Speed limit's 70 and they go 75, 78. Just take your time. There's no rush, because you got all these cars out here that will cut you off and stuff, and you got 40,000 pounds on the back. You ain't stopping. So just slow down, take your time. There's no rush to hurt yourself or other people.
Bueno, mis camioneros, se acabaron las excusas. Ahora sí tiene un lugar donde puede levantar la voz y donde puede reclamar y denunciar lo que le moleste.
Ok, aquí los esperamos en el pilot, como pueden ver el pilot, como pueden ver el precio del combustible, los esperamos el viernes, todos los viernes. Va a ser esto una lucha hasta que nos escuchen, a la que nos vean en nuestro canal, vengan a denunciarlo todo. Aquí, los que se quejan de los brokers, de los shipping, de los dueños de compañías, si le están pagando bien las cargas, si no le están pagando, aquí los esperamos todos los viernes, en la 121 y South River Drive, aquí mismo, la Pilot Truck Stop.
Así que ya lo saben, mi gente, a levantar la voz y a unirse, que es lo que todos los camioneros dicen, que les falta unión.
122
And South River Drive.
South River Drive. So that's the pilot station that these guys are at right now. Thank you, Lonnie. Listen, if you guys are ever at that pilot gas station, look for us. We're there on Wednesdays. We'd love to do an interview with you if you guys can find us out there. But thank you, Lonnie. First of all, thank you for your service in the Army. We definitely appreciate the veterans here on the Gringo Trucker Show. You are from the exact opposite end of the United States of us, Washington State. So welcome to Florida. He doesn't like the administration right now. No shock there. No shock there. As you can see, he's a proponent of the First and Second Amendment. He knew them by heart. He knows exactly what they stand for, what they mean, what our forefathers meant when they wrote them, and he dares somebody to take that away from him, because it's in the Constitution of the United States. So and the amendments. So appreciate you, Lonnie. Welcome to Florida. Thank you for your service in the Army. Thank you for your service in the trucking industry. It's very much appreciated. And again, if you guys, truckers, you guys are out there on the road or whatever, and you stop by that pilot station, look for us. We're gonna be out there more and more often, I think. But again, thank you, Yolandi. We even had a special appearance by Carlos again. He pops up every now and then. You guys notice that? He's like, you hear him in the background, and then he pops up. It's a good looking duo out there at the pilot gas station doing interviews. So thank you guys both for that. Very much appreciated. And now we're going to get into our second topic, which is UPS has imposed peak delivery surcharges, impact on high volume customers. So today we're going to talk about the recent announcement for UPS regarding their peak holiday delivery surcharges. They have a significant impact on the higher volume customers, and we'll delve into some details of these changes. But as you can imagine, if it says high volume, we're not talking about the guys who send in a package of sweater to grandma. We're talking about the actual companies who do hundreds and thousands of dollars in shipping. These are the people that the peak surcharges are going to affect the most. Surcharges are going to affect various shipping services provided by UPS. The surcharges for high volume customers using UPS residential air services between October 29th and January 13th. It's not just UPS that does this. Obviously, FedEx also will raise their rates for the holiday season. Most of these fees will go from October 1st to January 13th. The high volume shippers stay informed about these changes in the shipping industry, as they can significantly affect logistics and supply chain strategies. As you can imagine, this is going to affect Amazon. This is going to affect Walmart's. These are going to affect things, people of this nature who are doing, again, these many tons of shipping. And they raise these rates on purpose. They need to do it, especially this time of year, because they're going to get the demand for the holidays. But and now, especially because of the diesel prices that you guys hear me talk about almost every week, rising and rising and rising. There's no end in sight for that. So they've obviously got to make up for that as well. I hate to say it, but it's a fact. It's the nature of the beast. It really is. And it's the nature of the administration that we have in government right now. It's just, there's no end in sight to the increases of prices of everything across the board. UPS, they just announced that they're going to be paying their drivers quite a bit more money than they're used to, which, again, it's another one of those situations where, we kind of rely on UPS a lot for our holiday shipping needs, maybe more so than FedEx or DHL or any of those other guys. I know personally I would use UPS over any of those other guys, but then again, I'm not going to be affected as much because I'm not a high volume shipper. I don't have, a warehouse full of goods and things like that. So, but yeah, just pay attention to what's happening out there. I'm sure that this isn't the only increase in charges that we're going to face. It generally happens a little bit around this time of year, just to make up for the difference in the gas prices and the high demand. Obviously, UPS, we all know UPS goes on a hiring frenzy at this time of year, so a lot of that's helping to pay for those other guys, those drivers helpers that you see get out there, because those guys are out till 10 o'clock sometimes at night during this time of year. So just don't be surprised if maybe you see some things increase in price, on Amazon or Walmart or the people who do the shipping of the many tons of products. Just don't be surprised, because it's, unfortunately, like I said before, it's the nature of the beast. So that's it for that. I'm sorry I have bad news twice, in a row. I back-to-back weeks worth of bad news, but I'm telling you, I'm going to do it one of these days where I'm going to have nothing but positive articles for you, and everybody's going to leave here. We're all going to have a smile on our face and be happy when we leave. So, all right, next we're going to talk about Elite Insurance and Beyond. These guys are literally the people to call when you have anything related to insurance for your trucking needs. EliteInsBeyond.com is the website. The telephone number is 305-888-1557. As I tell you always, I get on these Facebook groups and Facebook boards, and I was just on there today, as a matter of fact, and I replied to 5 different people who were looking for insurance. They have a company already that starts with a P. I will not mention their names, but they are very dissatisfied with their rates and the coverage they're getting for those rates. So I'm very quick to get on my computer and type in EliteInsBeyond.com and send them the phone number so that they can call. They can save up to 30% on their premiums. Who doesn't want to do that? Who wouldn't want to do that? We have insurance in many states in the United States. Give them a call. See if we can help you. See if we can cover your state. 305-888-1557. And the guys and gals over there will be more than happy to help you out and get you the best policy possible at the best price possible. Now we have another interview. I'm not sure if Carlos is going to pop up here. He's like a mystery sometimes, but we definitely have Yowandi. So we're going to go to, I think this is Dariel from Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. So let me see what Dariel has to say.
Dario.
Yeah.
Are you a trucker for Georgia?
Yeah.
What is the big problem for you for the trucker in US?
freight, man. Mainly coming down here to Florida trying to get freight coming out is very bad. Not only that, finding somewhere to park is very bad down here.
What state is better for you, Georgia or Florida for the truckers?
Well, for freight wise or parking wise?
For whatever you want.
Georgia is, because I can easily get in and get out, and plus I live in Georgia, so just in case if I can't get anything, I can always just go home and just wait till the next day to get something.
And what is the better truck stop for you for it in the road?
Well, I primarily go to Love's. That's where I primarily go. If I can't get to a Love's, I would go to TA. That's always my second option.
Are you owner or you work for the company?
Owner operator.
And what are you think about the price for everything?
Outrageous, man. Outrageous. I can barely afford to put fuel in my truck, and not only that, I got a kid at home that I got to support. So yeah, it's real bad, man.
My goodness, too funny. Too funny. He only stop at Lowe's. I stop at Lowe's. That's awesome, Dario. I wonder what part of Georgia he lives in, because I'm from Georgia. So I'm always curious to find out if anybody lives near where I used to live. But yeah, you heard him. He says Florida. Again, another driver having problems getting loads out of Florida to back home or to anywhere else for that matter. The prices are ridiculous. And then this guy mentioned parking. It's crazy. He almost nailed it. If he'd have said anything about California, he'd have been, right on with everybody, all the other truck drivers that we interview. But, well, Dario, welcome to Florida. Sorry you don't care for it too much down here. Good luck getting a load back. I'm sure you'll find it. Obviously, Florida is a big producer of a lot of stuff. So I'm sure Dario will have something for you. So we'll get you out of here. All right. No problem. Enjoy your time in Atlanta. Now we talk about Elite Carrier Systems of Miami, EliteCSOM.com. Elite Carrier System is literally your one-stop shop for anything you need to get your business going, whether you're an owner operator or if you're a complete carrier and you need help with permitting, license plating, DOT paperwork, if the fuel taxes. These guys do everything over there. Elite Carrier Services of Miami, 305-405-2600. Again, when I said earlier about Top Tracking System, it's easy to sell something or easy to talk about something when you believe in them. And these guys treat everybody like family. You're not just a number. You're not just money. You are a family member when you sign up with Elite Insurance and Beyond and with Elite Carrier Services of Miami. So if you have anything, especially if you're trying to get started in the business, they're more like a consulting firm, and they'll be happy to talk you through what you need to get started, to stay compliant, so that you don't run into any roadblocks along your way. And you'll find the transition to becoming an owner operator much easier if you use these guys to your advantage. So Elite Carrier Services of Miami, EliteCSOM.com, phone number 305-405-2600. And now the Trucker Happy Hour. It's time for me to relax. I've done my news breaks. I've done my commentary. It's time for me to just chill out and enjoy a very nice Flor de Gonzalez cigars. I suggest you guys check out the website. It's newly revamped. I made it simple and easy for you guys. It's www.fdgcigars.com. If you use code ELITE20 in checkout, you're going to get a 20% discount on your purchases. And we have something for everybody. We have mild, we have medium, we have full bodied, but everything that Yadi Gonzalez makes is full flavor. Your Connecticut cigar, such as your Noventa Millas Connecticut or your 20th anniversary Connecticut, is not your grandfather's Connecticut. It's not your Macanudo. It's not your Romeo. This cigar actually has a ton of flavor. You will thoroughly enjoy it. The Connecticut's are great with coffee in the morning. Me personally, I'm enjoying the 20th Connecticut all the time now, with even in the evening times with a nice vodka and tonic with some lime or lemon. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. They also have what I have right here in my hand is a Noventa Millas Habano. This is a fairly strong Habano cigar. It is delicious. They're made in Nicaragua, in Condega, Nicaragua. The company has a history, almost 30 years now. They've been making cigars, and they do a really good job. and I'm very, very proud to represent them. But like I said, if you guys go to fdgcigars.com, use code ELITE20 at checkout, and you're going to get 20% off your box. Truckers, listen to me. This is a great cigar for you to smoke on the road. Okay? I'm not lying to you. I promise. It stays lit. The ash holds. It's not going to fly in your face all the time as some of those other ones will. So pick you up some of these on the way. You can get as little as a 5-pack sampler. Elite 20, FDGcigars.com. You won't be disappointed. So thank you guys for paying attention. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for your interaction. Thank you, Yolandi, for your interviews. You guys can find me here, the Gringo Trucker Show on YouTube. I also have the Gringo Trucker page on Facebook. If you guys want to look up, as I told you earlier, Top Tracking System, we have a Facebook page there. Elite Carrier Services of Miami. We have Facebook, Instagram, Elite Insurance and Beyond, the same. Follow us. You can follow us, Florida Gonzalez Cigars. You can follow us at FDG Cigars on Instagram. And other than that, I'm going to end this note on a nice cigar. I'm going to leave here and go grab a drink. Maybe I think today's a Modelo type of night. I think today's a Modelo. I'm going to have this with a Modelo. There you go. So again, thank you for paying attention. Like and subscribe and share with your fellow truckers so we can get this out there to everybody else. We love you guys. Gringo Trucker out.